A set of medium to heavy weights for today. Go ahead and draw your knees up towards your chest. This is strength and stretch. You've got 45 seconds of a workout. We'll start standing, then we'll go down to the floor to kneeling, then we'll actually be on our back for majority of the class. Using, of course, those weights. Go ahead and draw your knee up and over to a side lunge, pressing your hips back. Again, just a set of medium and or heavy weights if you'd like. Come on down to a low, wide squat. Feet are wider than your hips, toes turned out, arms out to a T. Tiny circles and your arms, keeping your chest lifted. From here, reach down, tapping towards the opposite inside foot. Maybe reaching the opposite arm up towards the ceiling. Deep reach. Just going to get our class here. All right, on the next one, hold the soft bend knees, arms out to a T. From here, hinge forward, give yourself a nice big hug. As you lift up, squeeze your shoulder blades together. I know we're doing it reverse. Seeing how that feels today. Give me 2 more here. On the next one, gently release your right knee down, untuck your right toes, pressing forward into your left, maybe walking that left knee forward more if you need to. Chin and chest stays lifted here. From here, gently drawing your hips back, straighten that left leg, and then press it forward. Rocking back and forth, slow and controlled here. All right, on the next one, gently hold your hips back. Keep that left leg straight. Maybe point, flex, circle out that left ankle, anything that feels good on that foot today. On your next breath, gently switch sides, releasing your left knee down, pressing into your right knee, keeping your chin and chest lifted. Holding here and breathing. Gently rock your hips back, straightening that right leg, and then pressing your hips forward. No cardio today, just strength and active recovery. Gently draw your hips back, point, flex, circle out that right ankle. Hold the right toes, flex, hinge forward, framing over your right foot. Holding here and breathing. All right, on your next exhale, gently rise up, roll your shoulders back, roll them forward. All right, grab those weights. We'll need 2 weights. You can also use 1 heavy weight. We have a goblet squat. So your feet are hip width apart and parallel. Turn your toes outside so they're not completely hip width. They're not parallel. From here, we're going to hinge forward as we keep our chest slightly lifted, pressing our hips back. If you want more of a quad workout, keep your chest lifted. All right, 60 seconds is on the clock. We've got 60 seconds of work, 20-second active stretch. You've got it. Keep it going. Gently press your hips back. 1 weight between your palms, or you can use 2 weights. Again, if you want that glute workout, hinge forward. If you want that quad workout, stay more upright. We have a toe reach as a stretch. Option to just reach your hands towards the toes, the deep bend in your knees, or you can come into a gorilla stretch by placing your palms facing up under your toes, maybe under the ball of your foot, and then gently bending, extending your legs. It's a glute and quad and hamstring stretch here. Stretch coming up in 5. That's 3, 2, and 1. Gently set your weight down. So again, from here, you can reach for your toes, bend and extend. If you like, placing your palms under your feet, bend and extend. That's it, you've got 5. That's 3, we're grabbing that weight again. 1 or 2 weights, here we go, goblet squats. What do you want to work on today? What do you want to get out of this workout? You're going to get in what you put in. Keep it going. Chest lifted if you want to work those quads. Maybe little hammies as well. If you want more focus on those glutes, hinge forward. Press those hips back, just as if you're trying to sit into a chair, that imaginary chair, maybe a wall behind you. That's it, keep it going. Less than 20 seconds here. Almost there, goblet squat. Keeping those toes tightly, slightly turned outwards. You've got 5. That's 3, 2. All right, give me that gorilla stretch. Maybe just reach for your toes. Maybe place your fingers under your toes, under the balls of your feet. We're grabbing that weight for round 3 of 4 in 7. All right, gently grab that weight. Here we go. Keep the toes turned out. Squat and rise. Slow and controlled. We are not going for speed for any of these. We're only doing them 4 times, so just think 4 minutes here. This is your 3rd round. You got a 20-second active stretch, active recovery for those muscles that you just worked. That's it, you're halfway through round 3, goblet squat. Keep it going. If you're just wondering, what do I want to do? Do I want to work more quads? Do I want to work more glutes? We're going to fire up those glutes next. Keep it going. You got 10 more seconds here. Finishing up round 3, so strong. That's 5, 2, and 1. Reach for those toes. You can keep them turned out. You can also bring your toes parallel to one another. 10 more seconds here. So we've got 1 more round of strength, 1 more round of stretching for these goblet squats. All right, grab that weight. Here we go. And then we're moving on to the last time doing this. You've got it. Again, you can have your chest lifted. If you like, you can hinge forward. If you're hinging, maybe it's more comfortable to keep those weights out in front. Your choice. Do what you can. Halfway there. Keeping those toes slightly turned outward. You don't have to be exactly at 180 degrees from your hip. Keep it going. We have an alternating kickstand deadlift coming up next. 7 more seconds and we're stretching those gorilla stretches, reaching our hands towards our toes, gently bending and extending your knees. Here we go. Bend and extend. So for your next move, again, kickstand, alternating single leg deadlift. We're going to grab 2 weights. We're going to stagger 1 foot back. We're going to lift that heel, front foot is flat, and then we're going to switch sides. All right, so grab those weights. Maybe start with your right foot back, left foot forward, glide the way, just like a normal deadlift. Glide the way down just over 1 foot, switching sides, start with the opposite foot back, pop that heel. Your front foot remains glued to the floor. From your pinky toe to your big toe, straight back to your heel. As you glide the weight down towards your thigh, your knee, maybe down your shin. Think about pressing your hips back towards that wall behind you. Alternating kickstand, single leg deadlifts. So you want to think about keeping those knees together and then just pop that back heel back. You've got it. Back remains flat here. Where you hinge, your gaze will follow. Do not strain your neck looking side to side. All right, gently set that off to the side. Go ahead and grab your right ankle. Pull your right knee back. Chin and chest stays lifted. Opening up that right hip. We're going to do 2 on the right, 2 on the left. We're going to alternate. We're grabbing those 2 weights in 3. Alternating kickstand deadlifts. Here we go. Release that foot gently. Grab those 2 weights. Maybe starting with the opposite foot than you did last time. Roll the shoulders up and back. Keep your shoulders pulled down from your ears. The focus is not how far can you reach towards your toes. How far are you stretching those weights? The goal here is to press your hips back. Try to sink your hips into that imaginary chair or towards that wall behind you or imaginary wall. Using your abs as you lower down and your abs as you rise. Keep it going. You've got 15 more seconds here. Slow and controlled. We're going to grab that left knee here in just a moment. All right, gently come on out of whatever move you were just keep working to whatever side. Grab that left ankle. You can keep it your hips in line. You can draw your knee back, slightly opening up your left hip. We're grabbing those weights again. And 3, 2, and 1. Gently release that bind of your ankle. Here we go. Kickstand deadlift. Gently rise up. This is round 3. Making sure you're alternating. Gently rise up. So again, pop that back heel. Press the hips back. So that weight, that knee that you're drawing the weights down, you're not drawing it forward. You're keeping that knee directly over your ankle and you're pressing your hips back as you lower down and then gently rise up. Same thing when you switch sides. Notice my knee is not coming forward anymore. I'm not letting that knee hinge forward. It's staying directly over my ankle and I'm pressing my hips further back and then gently rising up. Slow and controlled. You all look fantastic. Great form. There is no race here for how fast you can go. You want to make it nice and slow. All right, gently come on out of your move. Grab that right ankle. We're switching sides again. Keep your chest lifted. Maybe keep that knee in line. You can drop back if you'd like. We have round 4 coming up in 3. We're going to come to a kneeling position after this. This is your 4th and final round here, alternating single leg kickstand deadlifts. Rise up, switching sides. You've got it. You should feel it in your glutes by this round. Press those hips back. Gently rise up. It's a little funky motion because you have that knee bent and you're actively pressing the straight leg. You're pressing that hip back. Don't focus on your left hip. You want that focus to be the same side that you're gliding those weights down and then gently releasing up. So when I have my right foot back, I'm trying to press my left hip back towards that wall behind me and then gently rising up. 10 more seconds here. You've got it. Last 3, 2. Gently set the weights down. Grab that left ankle. We're going to come to a kneeling stance. We're going to work the upper body. We have L raises. Right arm forward, left arm out to the side, and then switching. So you're alternating one arm forward, one arm to the side, and then reverse. You can also stay standing here if you'd like. Here we go. Round 1. Slow and controlled. Sculpting those shoulders. Palms are facing down. So a little tip. If you're able to bring those weights up past your shoulders, maybe towards your ear, maybe past the crown of your head, Go heavier. Slow and controlled. You're already about halfway there. Very nice. Arm raises, alternating forward and directly out from the shoulder. Just as if you're making an L shape with your arms. Keep your shoulders stacked over your hips. Keep the navel pulled in toward your spine and up. Last 5. All right, gently set the weights down. Keep your knees bent. Come down onto your knees. We're gonna bend the elbows and then press. I know it's a tricep push-up, but we're strengthening and stretching those shoulders. You've got 5 more seconds. I almost said that's 1. All right, here we go. One arm forward, one arm out to the side. Gently release down. Think slow and controlled. Now, if you want to add more heat to your core, if you're keeping your shoulders directly over your hips, you're not rolling forwards, you're not rolling backwards or side to side, directly over your hips, you can lift your toes up off the floor, engaging your abs more, not allowing your body to wobble from one side to the next or forwards to backwards. You can also always set your toes down, top shoelace portion of your feet on the floor, or tuck your toes if that's more comfortable for you. Alternating forward and directly out from the shoulder, raises in that L formation. You've got 7 more seconds here. We have those tricep push-ups coming up next. Gently set your weights down. Hinge forward. Gently release down. You can come all the way down. You can lift your palms, release down. Press yourself back up. Release down. And press. You got 3, 2, and 1. Come on up, round 3. All right, just as I promised in the beginning of class, we're going through what the class format would look like. We're going to be on our back for this. It's not going to be easy, I promise. You're still going to put in a lot of work, don't you worry. You're 20 seconds down, less than 40 remain here for round 3. Keep your navel pulled into your spine and up to the crown of your head. So don't just hold your breath. Please don't hold your breath. You'll inadvertently get abdominal cramps that you don't want. It's always nice to have a sore core, right? Everyone likes that. Nobody wants to be out of breath. Keep it going. Deep inhale as you lift the arms up. Exhale as you lower down. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Gently set those weights down. Keep your knees bent. Walk your wrists under your shoulders. Option to hold it here. If you want to add that tricep bend and extend, you can. Moving those shoulders in a different direction. All right, round 4 right here. Here we go. Raise and lower. This is it. Last time doing this. Keep it going. All right, we're going to be on our back. We've got some combination moves here. We're going to zip our legs together. Feet, knees, everything zipped in one line. We're going to have our weights by our sides, knuckles facing up to the ceiling, neutral press. So palms facing in. As we press our arms up over our shoulders, we're going to lift our hips. We're going to hold the hips and arms lifted. We're going to bend the elbows, coming to a tricep extend as we draw the knees open to a butterfly, and then bring everything back together. If you prefer to stand here, you can give me an overhead press with a tricep bend and extend, double arm or one at a time. All right, gently set those weights down. Give me one more tricep hold or bend and extend. So option staying overhead press to a tricep bend and extend, double or single. You can do a glute bridge, raise and lower with a neutral press. Hold the bridge Hold arms overhead. Draw those knees open. Bend those elbows. Here we go. Standing or on your back, legs zipped. Working the core, working the glutes, working your chest and triceps. Keep it going. Again, you can also do this standing. Overhead press, tricep bend, extend. You can do one arm at a time or double, your choice. You want to add in that glute and core work. Come on to your bum. All right, we're gonna hold those arms overhead. Gently set the weights down. Butterfly your knees open. Give me some snow angels here. Maybe your elbows and palms touch the floor. Maybe they're just hovering. Notice how this stretch feels the first time versus how it's going to feel the last time. Take note of everything. We're grabbing those weights. Round 2, here we go. Neutral press, tricep bend and extend. Butterfly the knees open. Lower everything down. Press, lift, butterfly, bend. Extend, lower down. You've got it. Press, bend, open. If you're standing, overhead press, tricep bend and extend. Draw those knuckles up towards the ceiling, whether you're on your back in that bridge position or you are standing. Tricep bend and extend. We have snow angel arms coming up here. If you're standing, you can use a wall for snow angel arms or just gently draw that elbow high overhead. Maybe butterfly your knees open if that feels good too, opening up those hips. Just bend and then draw the arms overhead, just as if you're drawing a snow angel. Taking note, are your arms getting closer towards the floor? Here we go, round 3, grab those weights again. Neutral press, glute bridge raise, tricep bend and extend. Butterfly those knees, pulling those hips high. Engage your abs as you lift the hips up. Holding those hips high, squeeze your glutes. Give me that tricep bend. Just drawing those weights towards your ears. Please, please, please don't hit your head. Maybe butterflying the knees open, engaging more of that core, rocking onto the outer knife edge of each foot. Keep it going. Less than 20 seconds here. Yes, you can. As you butterfly your knees open, are your hips lowering? Actively keep them high. You got 5. That's 3, 2. All right, snow angels. How are those arms? Are they getting closer? I know with each round of stretching, my shoulders, my back, my arms, everything is opening more. We've got one more round coming up. Grab those weights. Here we go. Make it your best yet. Adding any of those movements that feel good to you today. Taking out any of those movements that do not suit you today. You've got it. Squeezing everything. Tricep bend and extend. Maybe butterfly the knees open, keeping those hips high. You can also keep the hips planted the entire time, bringing that focus to your upper body. Keep it going. We're going to use one weight next and our right hand. We have a single leg, left leg raise and lower with the right arm reach towards our left toe. So a crunch. All right, gently release those weights down, snow angel arms. We're starting to that right side. We've got 2 on the right, 2 on the left. All right, grab that weight, release your right leg long, lift your left leg. Once it's lifted, reach, release down, lower, lift, reach. If this feels too easy, you all know what I'm gonna say. You can hover that left leg as well. Pretend like that floor is lava. Keep it going. Left leg raise and lower. As it reaches back to the ceiling, you're reaching your right hand with that weight. You can always set it down. You're reaching that right hand up towards your left toes. Last 20 seconds. And lifting higher. You've got 10 seconds. We're going to set that weight down. We're going to extend our arms and legs long in opposite directions, creating a tiny arch in our lower back. Set the weight down, extend your arms overhead, extend your feet out long, maybe point your toes. Deep inhale, feeling that arch in your tiny back. It's probably the only time that I will tell you that your lower back lifting off of the mat is a good thing. And then releasing everything. All right, grab that right weight. Press your back in towards the floor. Right hand with the weight. Left leg lift and lower. Reach 2 times with the left leg. We'll do 2 times with the right leg. Maybe trying to hover that right leg the entire time. That left leg also does not come down towards the floor. It's just hovering as it lowers. Now hovering is objective. It can be at a 45-degree angle and then lift back up. You can also lower closer towards the floor, lift back up, or bring it all the way down, barely touching, just hovering, and lift it back up. Your choice. Keep it going. You've got 12 more seconds here. Right arm, left leg, last round. We're going to set that weight down and we have a bridge pose. Lifting our shoulders, lifting our hips up, stretching that core. Set the weight down, hands by your side. Walk your knees in towards your feet. Lift your hips high. Maybe bind your hand, maybe walk your shoulders in. Press your hips up. Gently unbind your hands. Tuck your chin to your chest, slowly lower down. Grab that weight into your left hand, extend your legs out long. Left leg stays down. Lift that right leg. Reach your left arm up. Same options here. If you want to add more heat to the core, hover that left leg. You can bring that right leg in any diagonal towards the floor. Lift, lower, lift, reach for your toes. Keep it going. Almost there. You can keep your right hand by your waist. You can draw it directly out from your shoulder. Keep it going. We're going to set that weight in the left hand down, and we're going to extend our arms and legs long in opposite directions, creating that tiny arch in our back. That's your first stretch here. Release your right leg, arms overhead. Deep inhale, create that tiny arch in your lower back. Continue with your breaths here. Deep exhale, pressing your lower back in towards that floor again. Grab that weight with your left hand. Here we go. Right leg, left arm. Raise that right leg. Gently reach your left hand towards your right toes. And then release back down. Maybe trying to hover that left leg. See how that feels on this side. And of course, if you did it for the 2 reps with the left leg, try it for the entire time on this side. You're halfway there. Stay with it. Right leg raise. Reach for your toes. Release your shoulders. Come on down. Setting that right leg towards the floor, not touching. We have that bridge coming up next. Lifting your hips, lifting your shoulders, lifting everything. All right, set the weight down. Walk your feet in towards your hips. Knees are bent, palms by your side. Lift your hips, lift your shoulders. Maybe walk your shoulders in. Maybe bind your hands, press your hips up. All right, we're gonna set those weights on our hips next. Gently roll on down. 1 or 2 weights on your hips. Zip your legs together, one long line. Glute bridge, raise and lower. Squeeze your glutes. Zip your feet together, arches, forming one big circle. Draw your big toes to touch, heels to touch. Maybe your calves, drawing your knees together. Zip your thighs together. Pretend you have a piece of paper between your thighs. You want to keep it there. Squeeze your glutes as you lift up high. Keep your shoulders pressed in towards the floor. Now our focus is back on our glutes. If you're using a weight here, please make sure to hold it on your hips. Lift and lower. 10 more seconds. That's 3, 2. Set the weight off to the side. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Draw your left foot over to the left side. Draw it over to the right side, keeping your shoulders in towards the floor. We're going to do 2 with the right, 2 with the left. Gently come back to center. Release your right foot. Grab those weights or weights. Walk your feet hip width apart and parallel. Lift and lower. Yes, we're going to alternate the glute bridges that we do. 60 seconds each. So just think you're only doing that type of glute bridge one time through for 60 seconds. Working different parts of the glutes. Neck is flat on the floor, maybe just closing your eyes. Find your focus. Maybe think of something other than your glutes. Keep it going. Make sure you're squeezing at the top. Barely tapping down before lifting right back up again. You've got 15 seconds here. We're going to cross the left ankle over the right knee and rock the knees side to side, keeping your shoulders pressed in towards the floor. Last one. Set the weight off to the side. If you're using it, cross your left ankle. Gently let your knees fall over to the right. Back to center, over to the left. Back to center. Over to the right. And over to the left. Come back to center. Gently set that left foot down. Bring that weight. Walk your feet wider than your hips. Toes turned out. Wide stance. Notice what areas of the glutes do you feel working now. We're working the outer glutes. We're working the gluteus maximus. Lift and lower. You can press your heels in towards the floor, lifting your toes, or still pressing your heels in, keeping your feet flat on the floor. Your choice. Again, if you're using that weight, please make sure to hold it. Lift and lower. For this stretch, we're going to walk our feet back in just as we did before. We're going to lift our right knee, cross it over our left ankle. We're going to keep that right foot flexed as it stays connected to your left thigh. And we're going to lift that left leg up, opening up that outer right hip. Last 5. You've got 2. Gently to the weight down. Walk your feet in hip width apart and parallel. Lift your right ankle, cross it over your left thigh. Lift your left knee. Grab the back side of your left thigh. You can also grab your left shin. Feel that stretch in your right hip and your right glute. Gently release your bind. Draw the soles of your feet together. Last one. Bring that weight back to your hips if you're using it. Butterfly, raise and lower. Keep it going. You're going to feel similar muscles that you just worked. We're also working that top part of your glutes. Keep it going. Lift and lower. Trying to keep those knees drawing wide towards the side of your mat if you're using one, wider than your hips, even as you lift and lower the glutes. Just keeping your neck flat on the floor, continuing to gaze up towards the ceiling or just gently closing your eyes. We're going to walk the feet back in towards our hips, hip width apart and parallel, drawing that left knee up, cross the left ankle over your right thigh, and then lifting that right knee. Stretch coming up in 3, 2, gently slow the weight down. Walk those feet in, cross the left ankle, lift that right thigh. You can grab the back side of your right thigh, or you can grab your right shin. Feel that stretch, deepening on the left side. All right, gently release your bind. Grab one weight in each hand. We have a wide arm chest press with an optional leg raise and lower. Combining these moves here so you can keep your legs extended out long. You can keep your knees bent, just as we were doing previously, keeping your hips on the floor. You can add the leg raise and lower. You can also hold it in a reverse tabletop. The focus here is on the chest. If you want to add heat to the core, adding in the tabletop, maybe extending the legs. Option 3 is to raise and lower the legs, keeping them zipped together. Palms are facing towards your toes, away from the crown of your head. That's it. Keep it going. All right, gently release those weights down. Draw your arms overhead. Grab your right wrist with your left hand and gently pull over to the left side. Again, legs can be bent or legs straight. We're going to hold it one side to the left. Next time we'll hold to the right. All right, come back through center. Straighten out your spine. Grab one weight in each hand. Again, wide arm chest press. You can keep your knees bent with your feet flat on the floor. You can hover your shins in a reverse tabletop, option 2. Option 3, you can extend your legs out long. Noticing each change of those legs adds additional core engagement. Option 4, you can raise and lower those legs. If you're raising and lowering the legs, you want those leg raises and lowers to be slow. Yes, our focus is the chest. You can add heat to the core here by any of those 3 options. Keep it going. Stretch coming up in 10. We're going to draw our body over to the right side next. Last 3, 2, gently to the waist down. Reach your arms overhead. This time, right hand grabs left wrist. Gently pull over to the right side. Feel that stretch all along the left side body. Trying to keep both shoulders in towards the floor. If you are standing, your left shoulder will be stacked over the right. Come back through center. Straighten out your spine. Wide arm chest press. Grab those weights. If you can find them. Had a little challenge there finding my weights. Remember your options. Leg raise and lowers. Legs extended out long. Reverse tabletop with your knees bent over your hips, shins parallel to the floor. Or with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Keep it going. Press and release. Draw your navel deep into your spine, regardless of the placement of your feet. Draw that spine up to the crown of your head. Think about suctioning your lower back in towards that floor. You've got 7 more seconds. Last 2 and 1. Gently set the weights down. Left hand grabs right wrist, side bend over to the left. Keeping both shoulders in towards the floor. Feeling that stretch all along the right side body. Opening up your chest and your shoulders. Nice core stretch. Come on back to center. Straighten out that spine. Here we go, last round. Now if you're doing any of those variations to add heat to the core, maybe reverse tabletop, maybe legs extended, maybe legs raising and lowering, if at any point in time your lower back lifts up off that floor, meaning any bit of air or space comes between your lower back and that floor, or if you feel any discomfort whatsoever, just go ahead and plant your feet down. Do not compromise your form just to add something on. You will get there, I promise. Keep it going. You've got 10 more seconds. Stay with it. We're going to side bend over to the right next. All right, set your weights down. Right hand grabs left wrist. Side bend over to the right. Keeping both shoulders pressed in towards the floor. That left shoulder is going to want to lift. Keep it down. All right, gently come back through center again. Straighten out that spine. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Curl yourself into a tiny ball. You can grab your shins. You can grab the back side of your thighs. Maybe rolling side to side. Coming back through center, keep your knees in towards the same shoulder, avoiding your rib cage. Draw the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. Continue to hold the back side of your thighs. Maybe grab the outer knife edge of your feet coming into happy baby. You can roll side to side. This is very similar to our first stretch when we were standing. You can extend the legs and bend, or just continue to hold them bent. Gently release the bind. Let your feet come down towards the floor. Knees are bent. Give me those snow angels again. Still laying on your back. Cross your right arm over your chest. Pulling your right forearm in towards your left shoulder. Open and switch. Drawing your left forearm in towards your right shoulder. Gently open. Draw your right elbow wide overhead. Release overhead tricep extension. Grabbing your left elbow. Keeping both shoulders pressing towards the floor. Rock and roll yourself a few times. You curl yourself into a ball. Gently come on over to your belly. Releasing all the way down. Keeping your hands on your shoulders. Untuck your toes. Press yourself up. Maybe coming into mini cobra. You can walk your hands back towards your rib cage. You can come into full cobra. Nice core stretch here. Gently look over your left shoulder. Come back through center. Over your right shoulder. Back through center. Draw your gaze forward. Press yourself back, coming to child's pose. This is where we're going to finish. Laying your forehead, gently come onto the floor, stretching your fingertips out long, full body stretch. Hips towards your heels, knees fall open, fingertips reach out long past the crown of your head. Maybe just rocking your forehead side to side. Come back to center, walk your hands in towards your knees. Gently and slowly come on up to a standing position. Nice big inhale. One more. Fantastic work, everyone. Thank you all so very much for joining me.